Obviously, you're getting ready for a big Intercontinental Championship match with AJ Lee. What's the excitement level for you right now for this opportunity?
So excited. I mean, championship aside, somebody that I can be in the ring with that I've looked up to since my time in WWE, someone who's, just given me so much great advice at the very beginning, but also just stayed such a great, loyal friend throughout the time that she was gone. Um, and then when we get down to business, this is the championship that I've never held before. Still a very brand new title to the division. So, just all the right things mixed into one. And I feel a little pressure about it, but I feel very confident as well.
Obviously, kind of a rematch 13 years in the making. What do you remember about that first match that you had with AJ?
I remember getting that first text about the match the night before, and I just couldn't believe that. I was like, why me? What I had just started getting off my feet in NXT, and my character just started getting popular with the fans, I'd say. But the main thing I remember in that match was hugging her in the corner and running her back and hearing the crowd reaction to it. So we did it again, and then it got bigger, and like that's truly where I'm a hugger came from. That's when I realized that I had something with a hug alone. So that really just changed my whole character development, and I'm so grateful for that match.
What was some advice that AJ gave you before or even after that match that you kind of just continue to carry with you?
She gave me some advice afterwards, but I'm gonna keep that to myself. I don't want anybody to know our secrets. But before, and I've shared this many times before, we had met, I think maybe like 5 months prior to that, and one of the old bosses that used to work with us asked her to have a talk with me. And basically, I wasn't, dressed the part, didn't look much like a diva. And she was so sweet to me. We talked for like 45 minutes, and she just said, remember who you are and stay true to yourself, but also remember that you work for their company. So you kind of have to meet them halfway, but never lose who you are in doing what you love. And that always stuck with me and kind of really was the foundation of the Bayley character.
What drew you to pro wrestling slash sports entertainment?
Oh man, Macho Man. He was the first guy I saw come down. I mean, how could you not be attracted to his entrance? He's colorful, he's bright, he's charismatic, his tassels, everything just oozes like, look at me. And yeah, I was obsessed from then on, the Attitude Era just being the best era of all time. Stone Cold, the Hardy Boys, they were just the Rock must see TV, not just for pro wrestling, but TV in general, and I was hooked.
Aside from Macho Man, maybe even Stone Cold, who are some of the other ones that really inspired you that just basically told you like, yes, I can be this person that I'm.
Uh, Definitely the Hardy Boys and Lita when they were, they used to come out with like home videos, and I would see, their journeys and how they got to where they are, and just really seeing the person behind these characters. I really connected with that. Trish, Victoria, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, Crash Holly, all these kind of performers really showed a different side than being larger than life that just seemed impossible. I love seeing the real, genuine side of characters as well.
Obviously, you get to NXT and you kind of start this hugger persona. Was there ever any doubt that this could get over, or did you always feel confident that this is going to continuously to get over?
I always felt pretty confident because, not to sound cocky, but it always got really good reactions. And I think, like a wrestler's theme song has a big thing to do with your character and how people feel about you when you're walking through the curtain. And I felt like my theme song always got people really excited. And we just had a good time. It just seemed like if they heard my song and I was coming out, like we would just have a good time. So yeah, I always felt really confident in it because I was having fun. So I always think that if the crowd can see I'm having fun and enjoying myself, then they will too.
Obviously, you're part of some of the most important matches in this new generation. Even main eventing with NXT. What has the some of those moments meant to you about just kind of growing the sport for women's wrestling?
In the moment, like at the time when we were having those matches, I remember it being like, holy crap, we are living our dreams. Like we really made this come true. Um, Back then it was more of a selfish, like personal thing. Like I can't believe that I accomplished this. But now looking back at it, it's so beautiful to see the like domino effect it had, and like now meeting all these younger generation, meeting these women on the independents, being able to reference those matches as part of the reason why they either started wrestling or that they wanted to pursue WWE is like, man, that what it didn't even matter about us back then. What mattered is what we did to inspire the future, and that's been like the greatest joy to really see in these last, I'd say, 5 years. To really have been able to touch women to want to do this and follow their dreams.
Still, for me, one of my favorite matches that I can still watch and just replay, and doesn't matter how many times I watch, I still enjoy it, is the match at Takeover in Brooklyn with you,
Yeah,
Sasha. What
yeah.
what did it mean to you to not only be a part of with some one of your friends, but also to be able to deliver such an important performance such as that?
Still, like, honestly, still wild to think about when we just had like our 10-year anniversary for that back in August. And we did a little like FaceTime live or a little IG live. And even just talking about it there just still felt like I can't believe that happened. And it's been 10 years. But it was everything in that night. Like it was the first time that NXT went outside of Full Sail for a pay-per-view. And it was, I remember seeing Seth Rollins cry in the front row, and to be able to do like our own sort of like curtain call with Becky and Charlotte coming out, to have the ref that we had, Danilo, is one of my great friends, being there was special. And then coming to the back, and um I remember Lita being back there, who was my hero, her being back there, and like just the I had my whole family there, and so did she. It was just, you couldn't, like, I couldn't have asked for a more perfect night. And that's the whole match aside, like just the energy and the feeling in that building, just was, I can't believe I got to do that.
Obviously, we're just a few weeks away from WrestleMania returning to Las Vegas. How excited is it for you and for everyone for WWE to come back here and put on another WrestleMania here?
um I mean, Vegas is Vegas. That's the spot. And I remember being there last year, and although I didn't get to compete, Vegas to me is very close to home, so it's an easy flight or it's an easy drive. I have friends and family come out there, so that's always good to me. And it's just a fun spot. I mean, there's so much to do out there, and I think also Vegas just brings a different life of its own into WrestleMania that's already very full of life. So we're all very excited to come back and see what this year brings.
Obviously, you kind of mentioned it there that you didn't get to be a part of last WrestleMania. When you found out that you weren't going to be on the card, how did that affect you? And how has it motivated you for this year's WrestleMania?
Obviously, it was devastating, but it is what it is, and it's really helped my mentality, I think, going forward after that. Like, it's very easy to succeed and do well when the spotlight's on you, but I always think like the test of a true character and who you really are is when your back's against the wall, and when you have to fight for everything. And I'm not afraid to fight, and I'm not afraid to hear the truth, and I'm just going to keep working and control what I can.
Obviously, there's been tons of great WrestleMania moments over the years. What are some of your favorite ones?
Oof, I don't know. I mean, if I were to speak for my own, one of my favorite ones would be myself and Damage Control, Io and Dakota versus Trish, Lita, and Becky, just because that's ideal for me, as a kid, a group that I created, um, wrestling my heroes and somebody that I came up in the business with. Beautiful. Um, and then I would say, I guess, WrestleMania 40 with Io was a big one for me. Just the whole story going into it and winning the Royal Rumble to earn that. is something that like, that's what dreams are made of. That's bigger than what I dreamt of, so I'm very grateful to have those moments.
And then just one more question for me. For fans or maybe people who are just the average consumer here and there that might go to a show, might not go to a show, what can people expect from not only yourself, but everyone else for this year's WrestleMania?
Um, I feel like this WrestleMania is because it's the second time in Vegas, it's almost like we're gonna try harder to make it so different than last year. And with Randy in this title picture, Randy is one of my favorites. He's a legend. He's one of the all-time greats. There's a lot of matchups that you wouldn't expect to see, in my opinion. Um, and it just seems like it's gonna be like, and I might be biased because I feel like, I'm about to win the title on Monday. So I'm gonna be getting to WrestleMania. So I just want to say it's gonna be better than last year because I'm gonna be there.